Hey, this is Alex and I'm here at Ninja Teacher Academy, which is our teacher training academy here in Ho Chi Minh City. And it's a nice day outside. It's about 32 degrees Celsius, which is 89 degrees Fahrenheit for my American viewers. And the humidity is not too high, so it doesn't feel too hot outside. And in today's video, I want to talk to you about a very important topic when it comes to getting a job teaching English in Vietnam, which is demo or demonstration classes. So in this video, I'll cover what they are, why they're important, and give you some tips related to them. As you know, if you've watched my videos on teaching English in Vietnam, it's a great market for English teachers with compelling salaries and a great lifestyle, and it's relatively easy to get a job as a first-time teacher. Now that being said, demo classes are very important when it comes to getting hired, and it's a topic that I haven't seen covered much online, if at all. And that may be because the teaching market in Vietnam is quite unique to other markets, and there isn't really such a thing, maybe in some other Southeast Asian countries. But this demo classes process is something that's very unique to Vietnam. So what is a demo class? It's a class that you teach at an English center or a school with real Vietnamese students usually, that a prospective employer observes and assesses your ability to teach and then decides whether they will offer you a job based on your performance. Now, this usually takes place when you're actually physically in Vietnam and before you've been hired, and usually after an interview. The vast majority of schools will want you to do a demo class, and in fact, very often they don't have a very formal interview process, or usually it's quite short and not that in-depth. But when it comes to the demo class, almost all schools ask you to do one, and sometimes they'll even invite you in straight to do a demo class instead of doing an interview before, which just goes to show how important that demo class is towards actually landing a job. What should your goal for a demo class be? Well, like the name suggests, it should be to demonstrate that you're a competent teacher. So how you do this is you plan out a lesson, you conduct the lesson, and you show the prospective employer that you are a good teacher and that you'll bring a lot to the table when it comes to teaching at their school or English center. So how do you plan a lesson for a demo class? Well, the school will usually give you a topic that you can design a lesson around, or they may even give you the option to have a free lesson and teach whatever you want. Now, what you do is actually put everything you've learned in your TEFL or TESOL course into designing a good lesson. Now, the things that they're going to be looking for are things like classroom management, time management, concept checking, teacher talk time, engaging and fun activities for the students. So all of those things that you learn when you're taking a TEFL course, you want to put into that lesson. Now the lesson will usually be a full-length class, although sometimes schools might ask you to do a shorter lesson. So this brings us to the topic of practical teaching experience. And yes, practical teaching experience is key. As you can tell from what we've been talking about, showing that you're a good teacher is very important to getting hired. So how do you get those practical skills? Now, if you're an experienced teacher coming in from another country, maybe you're teaching in South Korea or China, then you've got an advantage, right? Then you can actually go into the classroom, you know what to do, and that's great. So it's actually relatively easy to land a good job if you do have experience. But now, obviously, a lot of you are first-time teachers, and maybe you've done an online TEFL course, and you're like, what now? How do I actually step into the classroom and perform a good demonstration class? Because I see that a lot of people arrive here, they go into these demonstration classes, they don't know what they're doing, and then they lose a good opportunity of a job because they mess up their demo class. Now, first of all, I would say don't worry if you do mess up a demo class. There are a lot of schools out there. Even if you do have experience, you might just have a bad day and not get hired because of that. Just have a bad demo class. It happens, so don't worry too much about it. But you do want to prepare yourself to give yourself the best possible opportunity to land a good job. And most schools will forgive some small mistakes if they like you overall, they think you're a good teacher and you have some potential. You know, they will potentially still hire you because they know you'll get better. But what can you do to actually get those practical, hands-on teaching skills so that you can do well in a demonstration class. So hands down, the best thing you can do is actually get into a classroom and start teaching. And there's a number of different ways you can do this. The first one is potentially if you've done an online course, you could try do some volunteering, maybe back home in your own country at an ESL center, an English center. That could work. You know, you could just volunteer and not get paid for it, but then when it comes to getting a teaching job in Vietnam, you'll feel more comfortable in the classroom. You could even come to Southeast Asia and do some volunteering at different schools. There's always a need for teachers, and if you want to just go and get that hands-on experience, I'm sure there's going to be lots of places that will be happy to take you, even as a novice teacher. Then again, we do see people that just arrive with the online TEFL and kind of fake it till they make it. I've seen people do that. It's a possibility. Maybe you'll mess up a couple of demo classes and then you land a job after that. So that can work, but I also see a trend in Vietnam towards schools hiring good teachers rather than just anyone who speaks English. So more and more it'll move towards people that are competent in the classroom and schools are confident will deliver good lessons, because at the end of the day they want to see results for students. And I hope that you do too, and you want to put some effort into the education system here and actually help out students. So the second option then I'd recommend is taking a fully in-class 4-week TEFL or TESOL certification, because this gives you lots of hands-on experience with students, peer teaching, instruction from an experienced instructor. That kind of stuff is really valuable, especially just getting up in front of your peers and then in front of real Vietnamese students if you do it in Vietnam. I do think it's ideal to do it in the country you're going to be teaching in, because then your practical classes are with those students. So for Vietnam, if you do it here in Ho Chi Minh City, like the program that we offer here, then you get over 6 classes that you can practice with Vietnamese students and then get observed as well, get feedback on that teaching so it improves. And then the third option is to do some kind of combined learning where you study a TEFL certification online plus an in-person component. So that in-person training can be in the country you're doing it. And that's what we do here at our 2-week fast track program at Ninja Teacher. You can study online, get the majority of the theory done while you're at home, and then you come and do 2 weeks of practical training with us here in the classroom, teach with your peers. Then we actually send you out to some centers where you can practice with real students in a safe environment, and you get feedback on your teaching. So I think that kind of combined way of learning is very, very good. And there's been lots of research to show that that kind of theoretical plus practical combination is very effective at getting practical skills, like teaching English. So whichever route you take, I'd highly recommend getting hands-on teaching experience. It's really going to help you out with doing well in your demo classes and landing a good job. So that wraps it up for this video. I hope you found it useful. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Leave a comment below if you have any follow-up questions. I think I covered most of the important points, but if you have any further inquiries, leave a comment below and myself or one of the team at Ninja Teacher will reply to you. And if you have any other topics that you want me to cover in videos, you can ask for them below too. And if you like these videos about teaching English and life in Vietnam, make sure to subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more of those. So I'll speak to you soon. Peace.